realized the Bed Bath & Beyond catalog had a live studio audience. It makes me wish I had a female partner in the act that would show you.
Yeah!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know that my act is a cop-out. Anybody seen my act before? Say yeah.
Yeah!
Okay, my act is a cop-out, and I'm kind of copping out in front of jugglers. Every time I do my show, for example, you might have seen today, if you were in the gym and were watching the competitions, I did this thing where I juggle 3 clubs and bounce the ball on my head. Now, the idea is this is hard to learn at the beginning. But after you've been doing it for several years, like I have, every single show that you do this trick. If you only do 3 clubs with the juggle, and no tricks, that's a cop-out. So what I need to do while I'm juggling the freaking clubs with the ball bouncing on my head is at least one trick and see if the audience appreciates it. Nope. The reason why I cop out, doing a trick is hard.
We appreciate the effort.
And yet, I think I can do it.
There you go.
Hold on. I like it better under this blue light. 4 contracts, you see.
Yeah!
With this routine, I've had a goal a long time that I was going to add more to it. But it seems the audience, other than just jugglers, the audience actually likes the long plunger bit. This isn't just regular plunger, as you can tell, this is a Texas plunger. In Texas, the Texans have a lot deeper toilets. And the Bush family, there may be a connection. So what I thought I'd do for you guys is a little bit of the show that I do around the world. I usually have kids holding the clubs for me, and because older people are violent, I give it to little kids, so y'all aren't touching the freaking clubs. I'm going to try to do it myself. I usually do this part. It's really hard. It looks so easy unless you miss a couple of times on purpose. See? It's getting more appreciation already. Trying to throw the ball and get it to Jesus. Throw the ball and get it to land. Thanks very much. Now you see, if I juggle while the plunger holds up the ball with 4 clubs, it can look okay, like especially if I stand really still and just really control everything. But the truth is, that's a cop-out. So I'm going to try that routine in a true jugglish fashion, a little bit more technical difficulty, using the whole thing without the plunger. You're catching on.
The Kentucky Mime.
It's really hard without the kids. I know. Don't let it droop. Women watching.
Deja vu.
The fact that the plunger doesn't really exist anymore.
You forgot to miss a couple times.
Hold on. I'm still missing. All right, the idea is to try to juggle 4 clubs now, because doing less would be a cop-out. Before I try it. I want you to understand what I mean by a cop-out. Most jugglers have a lot of cop-outs in their act. This one, for example, is the most common. The guy brings a bunch of balls to the stage and he juggles 3. You're waiting for him to do something impressive. Notice that not only are you not really watching 3 balls, neither am I. The juggling, the audience makes it interesting to me after doing this for a few years. But when I juggle for non-jugglers, which in itself is a cop-out. I frequently use this ancient trick right here, which is depicted on the walls of a pharaoh's tomb. And it was from 4,000 years ago. That's right, juggling is... No, 6,000 years ago. Juggling is the oldest human endeavor marked on any wall of any tomb anywhere, older than all of our musical instruments and every sport.
The second oldest.
Yeah, okay. Is that one on a tomb wall? Google, here I come. So the idea is this juggle right here is still technically, though, it's still technically a real juggle because I'm throwing and catching every time. But most of the time I just cop out, and people like this one better. If you're a juggler, you know this one sucks because nothing's happening. This is what we call virtual juggling. Because if you look closely, you see it's a simulation, nothing's happening. See, but throwing and catching, virtual juggling. So real, fake, sorry, real. And the old one, the yo-yo, is classic fake juggle. See, absolutely nothing happening. A lot of times I just try to do a trick with 3 balls that people will remember. It looks like it has a little skill involved, like throwing all the balls through the legs. The key on that one is to grab the right ball. Okay, so doing only 3 balls, that's one cop out. But the thing is, I want you to see a trick that took a lot longer to learn than 3 balls. Here it is. Catching a ball on the ear. Catching a ball on both ears. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's use all 3 balls. All 3 balls. If you watch this trick very closely, follow it carefully, you'll be able to see that I have no social life. Add some more, right? And do this. And fun. You need a real stage, but this one's just painted on. Okay. I'm going to try to move around so you'll be able to hear how challenging it is to juggle on stage that's dead in some parts. Oh. Yeah, I know exactly. Dead in only some parts, pretty lively in other parts. That was a good one right there. Okay, this is the trick that keeps me from ever getting bent above the ground floor. We have a little picture of me in every leasing office in Florida. Ground floor only for this guy. Okay, so the idea is to try to bring this juggle down so low, both knees are touching the stage. If it works, I'd like you to say, wow. Wow. If it doesn't work, I'd like you to say, oh. Let's try that once. Oh. Sounds like you care. Groundhog Day is like a holiday, you know. Pretending we care is the whole reason behind holidays in America. Now, let's try to get both knees to touch the ground. Wait for it. If it works, say wow. Hey, you guys are versatile. Because right in the middle of a wow, you can change to an See the audience participation. Thank you, sir. You got my back, right? Because that could happen again. So now, ladies and gentlemen, when I do this trick right here in the show, when I do this trick right here, that's a cop out. Because I can do it this way. I just don't know if I hit it every time. See? You're one of these, That's a cop out. It's called a helicopter. U.S. military helicopter. Somebody watches CNN here in Atlanta. Okay, but I can actually run this trick. Oh, if you're not a juggler, running the trick means doing it for too long to keep it interesting. So that's running the trick. And then there's this one too. I do a huge cop out here. This is great though. This one took a long time to learn. To show you the skill. Try to flip the club over and catch it. Good cop out, way better reaction than just doing the stupid cheeks. Okay, I'm sorry. Everyone concentrate. I can't do this alone. Now, the biggest cop out I do in my show is this trick. Now, if you're a juggler, how about this one? If you're a juggler, you know what this trick is supposed to lead to. Doing all of them, right? This was still a cop out though. One hand, right? What jugglers always insist that you do, even though it looks the same when everybody does it, unless you miss. I don't ever do the really hard version of the trick. And that's why I really enjoy Atlanta. I've never done this trick. You bounce the ball while juggling 4 clubs for any audience ever. So I decided Atlanta because I love Atlanta. It's a beautiful city. Always love looking around while lost on the way to the convention. And you guys, there's a possibility that it could work.